Well, welcome in to the channel podcast. It is Sunday, August the 10th, 2025. We got practice, we got preseason, we got overreactions out the ass, out the galore overreactions. Let's talk overreactions because everyone is overreacting. My God, we need sports, and we need sports now to start. But let's talk, my friends. Let's talk. Austin, how are we, man? How are we?
Oh, we're good. It's like you said, we just need sports. We got a lot of talk. We had a scrimmage yesterday. A lot of people are still freaking out about the offense, and understandably so. I mean, a lot of unknowns, a whole lot of unknowns. But isn't that college football though? You're meant to not know a lot going into the season.
It's freaking practice, guys. It's practice. The team knows the team. Everyone knows everybody. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone gets a feel of what they're doing, especially after 3 weeks. So they kind of pick up on what they're doing and how the feel of the game and the flow going. So it's practice. Alvin Iverson's famous quote, we talk about practice. So, yes. But, hey, we were talking about this before we got on this, before we got on the podcast. Have you heard of the Celsius, the alcohol being put in the Celsius drinks?
Yes. So the company who makes Celsius, the energy drink, also makes High Noon, the vodka alcoholic vodka soda.
Yeah.
And they recently had a deal where they accidentally labeled some of them wrong because the cans are exactly the same. They use the same cans. So they labeled some of the cans wrong and set some Celsius out as, but even though they're labeled as Celsius,
yeah,
but they are High Noons.
Well, I went to Walmart early this morning to get a couple things, and I was leaving, and I grabbed a Celsius on the way out, and I'm sitting there drinking on the way home. I'm like, man, this Celsius is like stout tasting. And I'm like, and I call my wife. I'm like, hey, what energy drink is it that had the alcohol in it that got recalled and all that? She goes, Celsius. And I'm sitting here drinking this, and it tastes like straight up vodka. And this is no joke. I'm driving. I'm like, dude, this is one of the stoutest Celsius energy drinks I've ever had. And then I'm driving. I'm like, oh my God, this is a spike. This is a High Noon. I literally had a High Noon out of a Celsius can, and my wife was like, you need to call Walmart right now. You need to call Walmart and tell them that they've got the alcoholic Celsius by that cash register. And I kid you not, man, that was way stouter than a normal High Noon. Like it had a crap ton of alcohol in it. And I was driving. I was like, man, if I get pulled over, I'm gonna explain to this cop, like, I didn't make this drink. Like, this is legit an alcoholic.
Well, somebody said it's a DUI lawyer's dream. This whole situation.
I mean, seriously though, because I was driving and you could taste it. I was like, man, this aftertaste is really stout. And then I realized that I had an alcoholic drink, and I got one of those Celsiuses that I guess was not taken off the shelf. And
yeah, you could sue someone. I don't know.
Immediately called my wife. I was like, I just got one, and it was like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Rainy was roofie.
Yeah. So, yeah. But anyways, let's get into this practice. Let's get into this preseason. Football has kicked off in the NFL. We got preseason. We got all the overreactions, and everyone's freaking out. Chris Brazzell gets arrested for a suspended license. I think everyone's freaking out about that too, and I understand, but I think that'll be fine. He didn't kill anybody, so.
If you get arrested for anything I've gotten arrested for, so.
Yes.
Well, mine was a failure to appear, so that's a little different.
But let's overreact.
That's story for another day.
Yeah. Yes. But let's overreact. Austin, practice. We had scrimmages this week. You've looked at social media. Everyone's looked at social media. Everyone's freaking out. And in my opinion, dude, it's getting very, very, so overblown. It's so annoying. If you were to tell me sitting here that, people base so many opinions on practice. If that was the case, then Joe Milton's the best quarterback we've ever had.
Exactly.
And Hendon Hooker was a bad quarterback. Practice, and I was saying this to you before you got on here, and I said it a little while ago, but when you've played an organized sport and you have practice against the same people over and over and over and over again, you're going to pick up on everything that they do. Especially if you're a defensive player, you really pick up on what the offense is going to do. You learn their moves, you learn their rhythms, you learn everything that they do. If I were to line up against Austin and for 10 snaps, and I was to run routes, Also, by the fourth, fifth, or sixth snap, I probably kind of know what I'm going to do based on my emotions or based on my body language. That's what practice is. People are freaking out. I'm one of the most critical people you ever meet. But damn, it's getting annoying. It's getting annoying to me.
And also, it's a little hilarious to me with this because like no one has used their eyes to watch any of this.
No.
They're all judging this
Yeah.
based off stuff they've read, and I'm just like, what can you base off that? Because last year, what I read told me Nico Iamaleava was the greatest quarterback in the history of the sport of football. Was about to be enshrined in Canton, but it turns out we had a QB that couldn't score in the first half against Air. So
Yes. And then, well, what you see, and then you come out and against Kent State, one of the worst teams ever, you rank 70 and everyone's crowning them. But then again, once you say you play a good team, and it's a whole lot different than what you saw in practice. And yes, and basically you couldn't complete a pass against Air, was what you just said, Austin. So the freak out about the practice, we gotta just move on from that. It's not that big a deal, guys.
Now,
it's really not.
Now, am I saying the offense is going to be fine? Don't be worried. No, I'm not saying that because we just had a receiver arrested. I hope nothing comes of this, but it's no secret that the receiver room is extremely thin, about as thin of a room as you could find, which is it's honestly puzzling and downright like egregious that we have any room like that in year 5 under Josh Heupel. I find it absolutely ridiculous he didn't add anything in the portal. I mean, I don't count Amir Jefferson because that was, I mean, he wasn't a total receiver when we got him, and whatever. Also, he's not looking too good in camp. So, I just you should have added a receiver out of the portal. That's all I think on that situation. It's really ridiculous you didn't add one, but regardless of all that, we got what we got. Hopefully all the injuries we've had in camp are just precautionary, and once the season gets going, they'll be full go.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, if you look at other message boards around the country and all the other fans, they're all saying the same thing about their teams. Oh my God, this is happening. They're dropping passes. I mean, it's practice again. It's practice. My goodness. And I know people are free. Like that's why we need football. That's why we need live sports right now. Because when the lights come on, it's a completely different vibe. Like you're practicing things in practice that you need to practice. That makes sense at all. But it's just it's kind of we're getting to that point where everyone's starting to fight with one another, and we need competitive sports in our lives right now. So we got preseason, which isn't very competitive.
Okay, if the season kicks off and the offense isn't as crisp and they do have a little bit of a struggle here and there, it's kind of normal. I mean, this is a not an apples to apples comparison because I hope we can be better than this, but South Carolina was pretty dang good last year. I think we can all agree on that. And their opener against Old Dominion, a team from the Sun Belt, not even a good team from the Sun Belt, they looked abysmal in every way, shape, and form on offense. They couldn't put a successful drive together to save their life. And what happened though? They end up being pretty damn good all year. They go and pull off some big wins and just have a nice season.
Or you could say the opposite effect of us. We come out and put up 70, and are pretty much are against Kent State, and then we have the reverse effect on offense. So
yeah,
but in practice, what you were saying, like in practice last year, Nika was pretty much crowned. Might as well just put him in Canton. And all of these people, all the analysts now are. Our offense cannot be any worse than it was last season. Like
thank you.
It cannot. It was that last season. Me and my wife sat there all last season, and I could not get up to go to any game and be just excited to go watch the team. The offense was so bland. It was almost worse than watching a Joe Milton offense. It was so predictable, so bland. And all of these people and analysts are like, oh my God, they lost Nico. What did we really lose of production? Austin, like what did we really lose?
I mean, I will never get leaving that Florida game and thinking, man, we left about 40 points on the board. And Heupel, you watch his presser from after that game, he was as frustrated as anyone can be. because he set up everything as beautiful as he can, and they just could not execute it. Basically, well, Nico couldn't. There'd be a wide open receiver ready for a touchdown, and he'd overthrow him. It felt like every time. And he was 19 years old. And actually, the big thing we ignored is he didn't play a lot of real football following up his career at Tennessee. But it's still, regardless of all that, inexcusable, and we were paying $2.5 million for that guy. That is why when anyone asks me about this upcoming season and the offense, I'm just like, it's got to be better than last year. I mean, we couldn't score in the first half against Florida, against Arkansas, against Oklahoma, pretty much. Alabama.
We blanked in Alabama.
I mean, how many touchdowns do we leave on the board? And on paper, Joey Aguilar last year was the most accurate quarterback in college football past 30 yards. I know he has the interception problems, and that is something we will try to address, but I think that can be more addressed in the play calling. And if you want to panic about what you're hearing now, it could be like them trying different things out. I guarantee you they will treat scrimmages way different than they treat actual game days in terms of the play
100%,
calling.
100%. Like I said, if you've ever been in practice with any organized sporting event, you know these things. Like, you're not practicing like you're going to play. You're not.
Am I guaranteeing you this offense is going to be really good and whatever? No, I'm not guaranteeing that. It could be something similar to the last couple of years. It could be, and whatever. But I'm going to bank on it being better than last year and the year before that, because I just trust in the hit open receivers downfield, and I'm not going to panic of what I'm hearing in camp.
I'm not either. And here's another thing that kind of gets me a little bit.
This is what grinds my gears.
This is what grinds my gears, Scotty. But I don't know how my attitude has kind of shifted now, but back in the day when you were hearing these things about practice or whatever, we didn't have a coach with a pulse. Yeah, I'd get pissed. You get pissed. But you have a coach with a pulse. You have a coach that's never had a bad season in his life. And I'm not sitting here trying to be like just sunshine pumping, everything's going to be fine, because like you said, it could come out and not be good. But when you have a coach with the pulse that is known for pulling stuff out of his ass and making things somewhat watchable, aka last season, we didn't have a quarterback with a damn pulse, and somehow we won 10 games. So you're going to sit here and tell me that our offense is going to be worse than last year? Like, there is no way that, knock on wood, no way that our offense is going to be no response. I know no way our offense is going to be worse than the previous season. And one more thing, I want you to take on this too. Why does our fan base get so excited about these recruits and quarterbacks that we bring in? But when we're having a quarterback battle, they're like, "Oh my God, this is awful." Like, why do you get excited when we get these recruits, but then when it's time for them to play, you're like, "Oh man, this is not good." You know what I mean?
Because we're Tennessee fans and we're going to live by the moment. That is what we do. We live by the moment. If we hear they're struggling, we're going to be.
Everyone was so hype about Jake Berklinger. Everyone. Oh man, look at this guy. Look, we got George McIntyre coming in. We got 2 legit quarterbacks, basically 5-star quarterbacks. But now that they're battling it out in camp with Joey Aguilar, it's like a big problem that we don't have a quarterback now. I'm confused. I get it because they're young, but still.
I'm just gonna say I will be shocked if anyone besides Joey Aguilar is starting against Syracuse, but we'll see.
Does Joey Aguilar start game 2?
Yeah, I would say so.
You say so? I think, and I'm just hearing from a very, very close source of mine. I'm related to her and married to her, who goes to practice and sees these things, and she says that Jake Berklinger is a lot closer than people think to that starting role. So I don't think that there really has been named a starter yet. I don't think they know yet. I think they have an idea, but You have quarterbacks. You have Joey, who has a bad practice. Merklinger has a great practice. Merklinger has a bad practice. Joey has a great practice. You don't know
I
yet.
well, okay, I'll just say from the scrimmage they just had, I heard that the most accurate guy, best looking, was McIntyre, but he was playing with the twos and the threes.
Hmm.
And the second best was Joey, even though he did have a pick six. Um, Merck was third.
Okay, so that's been camp all summer. You hear that report every day with a different lineup of 1, 2, 3. Like
Yeah.
you like
My
here's
my belief has always been Joey's going to be the starter because you paid him $1 million more than all the other quarterbacks,
a million is
and
nothing, dude. A million's
he's
nothing to
23
Tennessee.
years old. He's much more experienced than the others, and I just don't think you're going to bring that guy in and not start him. That's just my belief, and I do think he's probably the best option.
$1 million is an insurance policy for Tennessee. That's what that is.
It's more than you're paying 90% of the players on the roster.
Because
95,
because quarterback's the
98 probably.
most important position on the team.
I
But
don't know. Is he the highest paid? He might be.
I don't know. We'd have to
I
look at
believe
that.
he is.
But again, the overreaction of practice. Let's overreact some more. Are our quarterbacks bad, or is our defense that damn good? Because our defense is going to be freaking good.
I
Our
have
de-
heard on the positive. Sorry, not to take
no,
what you're saying.
go.
The offensive line has looked great. I'm just going to put that out there. From all I've heard, the offensive line has looked outstanding, and we got depth. There's a true battle for those positions because a lot of guys look like they deserve it, and it might be the best O line we've had in a while.
Mm.
All right, but you'll continue about the defense. Sorry.
Well, no. Well, I mean, that's good to hear. I haven't heard really much about the offensive line, but you said something a couple weeks ago that kind of sparked my attention a little bit because people people give Glenn Ellerby so much heat, and I'm one of them. I've been one of
Me
them.
too.
We've all been one of them, and Glenn Ellerby. But when has Tennessee actually had an awful offensive line?
I'd say the worst that ever looked was Oklahoma last year, but outside of that, it's been pretty stellar the whole
And,
time.
and I wouldn't say stellar. It's been solid. Like it's serviceable.
Yeah.
It's never been bad because Glenn Ellerby gets thrown under the bus for his offensive line, like deservingly so about like recruiting and players transferring that were high star recruits to other places. But I feel like every time we watch the Tennessee Vols play, Joe Milton standing back there like a statue is not the offensive line. Joe Milton had plenty of time to throw the ball. He just wasn't a very smart football player. Nico Iamaliava last year had a lot of time to throw the ball the majority of the time. Now he made some. He wasn't very accurate down the field. He couldn't be decisive at all. So he scrambled a lot. But Nico is it's just not. He wasn't good. Like Nico was not good at football. And it's not about the money. Bullshit. Yeah, it is. That you're going to UCLA where you're going to have a worse offensive line. You're going to have to travel around the whole country and play Ohio States and people like that. And you're going to find out real quick how bad you are at football.
Let's not lie. The whole Nico thing, it was pure emotion is what they executed it all on. They wanted more money, obviously. They didn't have an offer, but they threatened like they did. And then when we said, "All right, do whatever you want, we're done," they just kind of like got mad and sort of just went with emotion and entered the portal, and then realized they had no better options. Tennessee wasn't taking their calls, so they went to UCLA for way less money and a way bigger tax cut, and
Yeah.
they screwed up royally. And he's in a totally worse situation. There is not, and he came out big to media. He's trying to sell it. Well, I just want to be closer to home. It was about family. You're full of crap. We had your
Yeah.
whole family here. They were living here. But I will say, all his family can go to those games because there's plenty of seats. I'll tell you now. UCLA is going to have their highest attendance in years because it's all the Nico and his family.
Yeah, half his family's gonna be in the stadium. So, I mean,
Good for them.
Half his family was in the section below me. Almost filled up that entire section below me in the corner of the end zone.
Hey, Danny White, minus that season ticket holder left to minus like 50. Thank you.
Yeah. But I don't. When Josh Heupel, let's go back to last season. Tennessee is hyped up because of Nico. Tennessee is hyped up because they're getting a lot of attention, a lot of buzz, deservedly so last season to start the season. Get a lot of buzz. Now, they did win 10 games. But did that season feel like a 10-win season? Did it feel like the 10-win season under Hendon Hooker?
I've only had 2, so.
But I know, but that's what let's compare the two.
I wish I could. I will say the defense did.
Oh, the defense was incredible. But they also weird.
You paired an absolutely awful defense with a great offense. I mean, super elite offense in 22. And you did the exact opposite in 24. Why couldn't we have those at the same time, man? We could have won it all.
Yes. But again,
we lost to freaking Arkansas.
Yes. but again, and that didn't really affect anything, honestly, in that.
I mean, we would have been at home in a playoff game in Neyland.
Yes. Okay, you're right. So it did affect something.
We might have been in the SEC championship game, actually.
Yes. And we've realized now that those don't even really matter. Those championship games. They don't even matter anymore.
Actually, it might now.
Not really.
If it might dictate a playoff spot, like the new setup, I believe.
If you're that,
I think it could be a playing game. Literally, like the only way to get in the playoff.
If you're in the SEC championship game, you're both going to the playoffs.
No, but the new setup, I'm not going to place this year, but it might go in place later. It's going to be like there'll be multiple games in Atlanta, and one of them will literally be a playing game.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going out of bounds here, but because I can't. I know I've heard this talked about a lot, but I don't know if it's going to place this year. I don't think it is. I think it's the same setup as last year.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to be any different this upcoming season. I've heard that our changes can be made, but that's for another time. But I just back to what I was saying. When Josh Heupel, I was telling you, we had this conversation earlier last week. When Josh Heupel isn't really supposed to do anything, I feel like that's when our offenses and stuff are the most fun. Like when they're not expected to be this great team. Like when Hendon Hooker came in, let's just take that example with Josh Heupel. When Hendon Hooker came in, and we had the 7-6 or 7-5 season the previous year, went to the Music City Bowl. Like we were expected to be pretty good the next season. We were expected to be pretty good.
Well, we 21 was really the shocker because we were supposed to start Joe Milton at QB, and he gets hurt in the Pitt game, and Hooker comes in, and we're just like, oh, screw this. I mean, we weren't supposed to be good anyways. Now we're in the back of QB, whatever. And then this guy comes in and absolutely runs the offense like it was his like born destiny to run it. And
but who was better in practice?
Joe Milton.
He was better. He was the best. And we put all of our eggs in the basket in practice because he looked amazing in practice. But you get what I'm saying with Heupel. When he's not expected to really do much, he makes the most of that situation. Via 21, via 22. Like you came in the 22 season, Tennessee's going to be pretty good. No one expected us to be that dominant on offense. Like no one expects us to be that lethal on offense with the quarterbacks that can throw it down the field. We've had 2 back-to-back seasons now where a quarterback can't throw it down the field. So if we get this season where a quarterback can actually throw it down the damn field.
Oh, Joe Milton can throw it down. Joe Milton can throw it down the field. He throw it into your hands. You'd be in the stands, but it'd be.
Have you Googled? Not Googled. Have you searched Joe Milton's name on Twitter?
Oh, what a fan base to have that QB.
Oh man, every Cowboys fan. If you didn't watch yesterday's preseason game, it was fun to watch. It was typical Joe Milton. Joe Milton is the most likable person in the world.
He's but
when it comes to football, yeah, just stop right there. That's all I gotta say. When it comes to football, he is the ultimate badassery of practice. Cowboy fans in practice. Oh, he's taking Dak's spot. Every Tennessee fan jumped in those comments and was like, no, he's not. And they're like, and all the Cowboy fans are like, you don't know ball, you don't know this, you don't know that. Like, no, we watched him play. Go search his name on Twitter, and go read the comments from Cowboy fans and regular fans. It's the funniest thing you'll ever read in your life.
If you want to know what it's like to be a UT fan in 2023, that's what it was like.
Yeah,
I saw the guy showing him just drilling guys and like beating the hell out of people with footballs. I swear, like, you could get rid of the firing squads in prison and just have Joe Milton throw footballs at him. It'd be the same effect. He's got a cannon, man. Literally.
We're on the topic of quarterbacks right now, so I might as well take Donald's comment. We'll get some of your comments here in a minute. Let's see a bunch of you guys coming in. Donald chimes in with the QB play we are going to have. Do you think the tempo increases or decreases this season? Okay, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I mentioned earlier. My wife was at a full practice this previous week. Last week, she was at practice, and she said Jake Merklinger is by far the quickest quarterback for the offense. She said it was bang, 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 bang. He was there real quick. Now, 2 new quarterbacks, and Joey Aguilar and George McIntyre, she said they were going slower. But that could be the case of they're just learning it. And once they pick up on it more, they're going to go quicker.
That's my answer to that question as well. I think Joey, the tempo in week 1 will be vastly different from the tempo in week 5. I think by that point, Joey's going to be running the offense pretty well. Yeah. And I know I'm just presuming he's winning the job. I know whatever, but I think it's going to be him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm not going to say it's going to be Joey 100%. What I say, yes. I'm going to say I think it's Joey, but from what I've heard from numerous people, from what I've seen, it's a lot closer, I think, than people think. Honestly, I really do. I think it's closer than people think. I think Jake Merklinger is going to give Joey a run for his money in practice. That's what he's doing right now. So
I've heard that Merklinger has actually taken like a leadership role with Joey. Has like really tried to get him like really well accustomed to everything, and he's really been great through this whole process. I've heard, because this whole thing's so weird. It's truly like throwing a wrench in everything we've been trying to pull off here. And when we had a number 1 overall quarterback in his 3rd year, that was what we were supposed to have. And the dude him and his daddy just decided to tuck tail and run to a very worse situation for reasons we all want to know. And I don't think we'll ever know because it was just a dumb decision.
Yeah.
So Merklinger's sitting there. He's supposed to be pursuing backup, but at the same time, he can look around and see the room and like, yeah, this is probably not something we should roll out the season with because we only have 2 guys here. Honestly, you could argue we should have added a guy regardless of what happened, but and we go at Joey, and it's what it is. I mean, Merklinger's in his 2nd year, so and he didn't think he'd be starting this year in any way, shape, and form going into spring. I mean, he might have just I know we got a pay increase because of this whole situation, so that's good. But I've heard he's been great through this whole process. I know it sounds like I'm rooting against the kid starting. I'm not. I'm
You're
really not.
not. You're not though.
I
It's
just
a
do truly believe Joey is the best result for this team. That's just where I'm at.
but again, you don't know yet. No one knows. No one knows at all. And this is why I think this season is going to be kind of fun to watch play out because there is no one that is in the middle of this season being good or bad. Like there's no one in the middle being like, oh, this is going to be this would be a decently fun season. They're either hot or they're cold. There's no lukewarm. Like you get online and it's either people saying this team is going to suck. It'll be fine. There's only two opinions basically from our fan base. If you haven't seen or been living on a rock, there's no one that's like in the middle. It's either doom and gloom or it's going to be fine.
Do you like having Georgia week 3 with a situation like this?
I would listen. We're not going to beat Georgia regardless. It doesn't matter.
No.
Stop.
I'm not putting that in Neyland Stadium. I'm never putting anything out of the equation, especially with how Georgia looked last year. I think it's a team that got dismantled by Ole Miss.
Okay. We're not.
You think we have no shot in that game?
I'm going to give us a 95% chance to lose, but
that's crazy.
They're just better than us, man.
I'd say we have at least a 35% chance of winning. Are they that much better than us?
Yes, they're really good.
Game with 10 minutes to go. Actually, it was tied with 10 minutes to go last year in Athens, and who knows if that team got better or worse.
I'm going to go with no. We're not beating them, but I'm also going to go. I'm also going to go.
Stadium.
I know it's Neyland Stadium, but Georgia, I just think is that much better than us.
Was Nico good last year?
No, he sucked.
And we were in that game until 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, we had Dylan
Nico
Sampson.
in Athens.
We had Dylan Sampson.
Oh my God, we're just about the same at running back. Running back, I love Dylan Sampson to death.
He literally won every game for us.
I don't think we're going to be vastly different at running back. I just don't. That's kind of a normal output from a Josh Heupel running back. What he had, it was good. He was great, but it's not anything otherworldly. It was honestly a lot of he probably wouldn't have that great of a year if Nico had a pulse.
He was the best running back in the SEC, dude.
He was.
So you can't tell me that it's not a loss.
He
was one of the best players we had. He's one of the best players we had. He literally won games for us. Literally. If he was not in half of those games, we don't win them. He made plays that made us win. And so
he was a good running back.
Well, because this year you have Peyton Lewis, Bishop, Star Thomas.
That's pretty good.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I feel like I know
it. How? Tell me.
Josh Heupel always
tell me how you know
running back, and those guys are. I mean, I saw Deshaun Bishop last year. He looked pretty dang good.
Okay, he's got to stay healthy.
Star Thomas is good at Duke. He's a senior, and I've heard he looks great in camp. I know it's camp, but Peyton Lewis is in his 3rd year. He's kind of a bruiser. I like that. I do think running back. I think it'll be by committee. Like I don't think we'll have like a by far number 1 running back. We'll have a guy that has most yards rushed on the team, but it's not going to be like drastically different from number 2. I think it will be a little bit by committee, kind of like 2021 was. I think we'll be good. I do think we'll be good at running back.
I'm not saying we're going to be. I'm not going to be saying that we're going to be bad at anything, but you have a 3 on. Well, I would Star Thomas. It was great at Duke, but you're entering a new planet and world. You have 3. I'm going to say 2 unproven running backs that can start full time. You don't know. And Deshaun Bishop can't stay healthy. Then if he gets hurt, that leaves you with Peyton Lewis and Star Thomas. And look, I think that they're all good players, but we just this season is such an unknown, and I don't think it's going to be a bad season at all. I think it's going to be fine. But people that are trying to predict things right now, it's just impossible to do. So,
I mean,
somebody chimes in and says small and right type of year. Jabari Small and Jalen Wright type of year is coming up. I can see that.
Was that
I
bad?
can see that. No,
that's good.
It was good.
I mean, it was paired with an elite passing game.
Yeah, exactly. So what we have is a bunch of unknowns, but I do believe that our defense, Jamal McCoy, back in the practice field last week, running around. No really timetable when he's coming back. I think it's gonna be sooner than later. But you have Colton Hood out there who I'm hearing is pretty damn good. Looks
he
pretty
looks
good.
elite.
Looks really good.
He's picking up blurs in practice, so it's good. Blurred out.
Oh yeah, tight ends.
Who knows? Oh, tight ends. Yeah,
I've seen those videos of people. What is wrong in Rocky Top right now? They're blurring out quarterbacks.
We've always been this way. I mean, is it okay? I will say that hysteria over the practice reports are probably overblown. I will say that that's probably the case. But I will say it is crazy to me, and I could not have predicted that we'd feel this kind of way about an offense in year 5 under Josh Heupel. Like okay, it's year 5 under Josh Heupel. We feel vastly better about the defense than we do the offense. Is that crazy? That is how we feel, and yet it's like we never thought we'd feel that way under Josh Heupel. But I'm not criticizing him really greatly because we're getting good results. I mean, hell, we won 10 games, made the playoff last season. Haven't had any season worse than 7-6, and the ceiling is unreal. But it's wild.
The last, besides the Joe Milton year, after Hendon Hooker, if we had the playoff form that we have now, we'd have been in the playoffs two out of the last 3 years. 2 out of the last 3 years we would have been in the playoffs. I mean,
last year, but Shane Beamer had to go and stick his stupid. God, did you see the? Sorry.
What I said was if we had the same playoff form, we would have made the playoffs in the year we lost South Carolina. We would have made the playoffs. That's where I'm going with that. So
keep me on top.
But when you think about it though, and I don't know why. Like I don't feel like this season is going to be awful for some reason. I feel kind of I'm okay. I don't know. I don't feel bummed out by it. A lot of people are like, oh, it's just going to be terrible. I don't feel that way. I think this season could be maybe if it turns out to be somewhat like not as good as we expected, maybe like we win 8 games or something like that. I feel like this could be like a bridge season because if you look at it, Josh Heupel has said Tennessee is built on defense. And what has Josh Heupel done the best at Tennessee is recruit defense. If you go back and look at our recruiting classes, we are getting blue chip recruits on the defensive side of the ball. And let's go ahead and talk about the 2026 recruiting class.
Oh, man.
If we continue to recruit defense and we get, it's either McIntyre, Faison, Brandon, and we get Key, we get the best running back, the best wide receiver, like you're talking about shaping up. If this were to happen, shaping up to build a roster that could be really scary in terms of being up there with the top dogs. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, I got my orange glasses wearing guy, but it's true. Those are the kind of players you got to get to win big because that's what Georgia's done. That's what Ohio State's done. That's how they win. And you get those type of players in a system where they can shine. I think that could be pretty scary if they all were to come together.
If we land Keys, Hyder, and Brandon in this class, I mean, Lord Almighty, this is going to be elite. This will be probably the best class. I mean, definitely since Fulmer was here. I know Kiffin's class was great, but that one really we never got to see really. So
and then you had the Butch Jones top 5 classes, which weren't really top 5 classes because he just got players that didn't even fit his system.
he was grabbing guys that other people knew were like injury prone, and he grabbed guys that didn't fit his system. Butch was a fraud of head coach, just like okay, this is what I want to talk about earlier. Did you see the graphic that were released by South Carolina social media accounts? It said in bold letters,
Oh yeah.
the most featured team in whatever the SEC Netflix documentary is. That's what they released. And I got straight flashbacks to Butch Jones UT putting out a tweet that said Butch Jones is the most followed coach in college football. I was like, oh my god, this man is a straight clone. He's reading from the book of Butch, which the book of Lyle.
Okay, if we talk about Shane Beamer, it's been said before, but he just gives me so many Butch Jones vibes.
He really
so
is.
many vibes. And then
what's crazy is his dad was the and completely anti Butch Jones. He was quirky, he was weird, but very much a straight football coach. And he takes nothing from him besides that kind of weird look on his face.
Okay, so real quick, let's talk about this, and then I kind of want to get in. I do want to talk about preseason a little bit because I do want to have a segment of like who you think will make it long term based off the first preseason game. So let's continue the overreaction with that because I do want to get into that because I am kind of excited about Cam Ward after watching him with the Titans in his first game. So, but anyways, I want to talk about Alabama too. I want to talk about how the coaches polls and the polls are kind of starting to get out there. Alabama is inside the top 10, probably basically in every poll. And I want to ask the question, why? Why? Is it their name? Is it the Nick Saban effect of like they're still like going off of that? At Alabama, and then they tweet out the brick by brick thing. Like, dude.
If I was doing a top 10, they'd be probably in it. I'm not gonna
lie. Why? Dude, why? Like, we had this argument the other day. Why? Like, who the hell? You talking about quarterbacks? They're going to start a quarterback that couldn't beat out every quarterback that's played before him for the last 5 years.
I mean, what you say about their quarterback, I can say about 90% of the quarterbacks in college football. There's a lot of unknowns. It's very much of an unknown year. And they still are top 5 in blue chip ratio. What's his name? DeBoer typically, at least at Washington, had a much better year 2 than a year 1, and I do think he was a little bit forced in, like, or was still like trying to fit his concept with the changes at Alabama there. I think he'll be much more comfortable this season to execute what he wants.
I don't care. With Ty Simpson? He's going to be more comfortable with Ty Simpson?
I think Milroe was a bad quarterback.
And you think Ty Simpson's going to be any better?
I did hear from at least our DB said this after the game against Alabama. They said, yeah, with Carson Beck, you could tell he was picking receivers and just running the offense. When Milroe was back there, it just felt like he was just throwing it to wherever. So, yeah, I mean,
okay,
Ryan
I don't care. I don't care who
you
are.
Jeremiah Smith.
I don't care who you are. I don't care. You just said last year they had Jalen Milroe, which is, in my opinion, going to be way better than Ty Smith. Way better than Ty. I mean,
you don't know nothing about him though.
Exactly, but I do know that he has been overlooked by Jalen Milroe and a couple other guys. He's been booted down the depth chart, and I don't care who you are. I don't care, Kale on the board. You have all that talent. You don't lose to Vanderbilt. I'm sorry. Like, you just don't. You could have lined up and probably ran the ball 100 times, and you could have beat Vanderbilt.
I mean,
you lost to Vanderbilt.
Okay, I'll say this, though. I hate to play devil's advocate here. I'm not pro-Alabama. Is losing to Vanderbilt worse than losing to Arkansas?
Yes. My God, yes. Yes. Oh my God, yes.
I don't know if it is.
Buddy, you are on crack.
Is it though?
You are on crack. They had Bobby Petrino as their offensive coordinator. Arkansas has some good players, dude. Arkansas recruits better than Vanderbilt. I'm sorry. They get kids from Memphis. Like, Arkansas is a better football program than Vanderbilt. I'm sorry. If you're telling me as a recruit, you go to Vanderbilt or Arkansas, I'm picking Arkansas. I'm not going to Vanderbilt. Who the hell wants to go to Vanderbilt? No one wants to go to Vanderbilt. I'm just to say that Arkansas is a worse loss. You're on crack. You're on crack.
I was so confused. I thought I was looking at Arkansas's thing, and I was looking at Oklahoma's. Like, they beat Alabama.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oklahoma beat Alabama too as well. Let's throw that one in there too. So I don't care who you are. You go from like being legit and losing to Vanderbilt and a awful Oklahoma team, a terrible Oklahoma team. So I don't trust anything of why they're in the top 10. They're getting like the Notre Dame effect. It's their name. Now, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I don't think the board's going to work out at Alabama. I don't.
Why?
He's just he's not going to be good enough. You're following a legend.
If it's not going to be good stumble enough this year, if he does stumble,
he will.
I don't think he will, but if he does, he will. Let's take a look at their schedule. They go to Georgia, at home against us, at Auburn, at South Carolina. This isn't that tough of a schedule, really. I mean,
wait. So they start off at Georgia.
That's week,
and then go to Auburn.
2, 3, 4, 5. That's week 5, and they're off a bye week. So they'll probably lose that one.
You start your season out at Georgia. You're probably.
So I do think there is a little bit of a weird effect when they play at Georgia. Like Georgia just plays weird against them. But I'm presuming Georgia will defeat them that game, and then they're at home against Vandy. They'll kill Vandy. They're angry about it. And they go to Missouri. They'll beat Missouri. I'd say they probably beat us. They could lose at South Carolina because they play South Carolina after playing Georgia, Vandy, Mizzou, Tennessee all in a row. So they could lose that one. I don't know what South Carolina is coming off of, or their whole situation. But I look at this schedule.
There's going to be one weird
loss.
I'll
probably say 11-1.
Oh my God! There's going to be a weird loss there. They lost to Oklahoma and Vandy last year with a quarterback that's going to be better than the one they have this year.
And they lost one though. You got to give a guy a grain of salt for year one.
He just lost a bunch of players in the NFL draft.
They returned
half their team went to the NFL draft. A lot. I just looked at the first round the first round draft from this year.
They lost 4 starters on offense and 3 starters on defense.
Yeah,
they returned most teams.
The majority of the losses of offense were on the offensive line. So that's a big one. That's a biggie. That's a biggie. In front of me. You don't have to have it in front of you. Just look at the NFL draft. There was like 2 in the first round. So he lost pretty much 2 first-round talents. There's a couple in the second round, I believe. Check me on that one, but I'm pretty sure I was just looking at it earlier today because I was looking at this next segment we're about to jump to, which is will they make it long-term in the NFL?
They lost 2 starters on the offensive line.
Okay. Anyways, they're like first round, second round NFL draft talent.
They were high caliber guys.
Yes, they were. That's really hard to replace. We should know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
And you have a quarterback back there that has lost the quarterback battle to pretty much every quarterback that's come through.
I hope you're right.
I hope I am too. I don't see Alabama as a top 10 team. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I tried to. Okay, I tried to list teams I would rank ahead of them. Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon,
Penn State,
Texas. That's 5, 6. Clemson maybe.
I'm gonna look at it right now, real quick. I'm gonna look at it right now.
Notre Dame 7.
7. There's more teams that are there. I was looking at their day, and there's more
Maybe
teams.
Miami. Maybe Miami. The 8. Would you rank Ole Miss ahead of them?
Yes. Yes,
I
I
don't
would.
know if I would.
Why? Why wouldn't you?
It's
You
because their
okay? So
roster is not as great.
you wouldn't rank LSU.
No, I don't
You
trust
have
Brian Kelly for the
LSU,
life of me.
LSU,
Oh, go 8
L,
4 again.
LSU,
That's smart about win the Heisman though.
Miami,
8-4.
Michigan. I don't know, man. They're not a top 10 team in my opinion. That's just me. Because if you're basing things off of last season, and then Tennessee is.
They finished 13th.
I know.
And
they shouldn't even finish 13th. They look like dog water in the end of the season. Dog water.
I'm not trying to play devil's advocate for the University of Alabama. That's not my position, but I just don't know.
All right.
Okay. I had something I was going to ask you. Who's on a hotter seat going into this year? Billy Napier, Sam Pittman, or Brent?
It
Brent
doesn't matter.
Venables?
Sam Pittman. He's number 1. Sam Pittman 1, Venables 2, Napier 3, in that order. Sam Pittman can go to a bowl game this year. He's going to get fired. They've already lined that situation up.
I thought we were saying that going into last year, though. How's he still there?
He's not going to be there after this season.
Is he like coaching purgatory or something?
Done. Well,
Do you think they just stopped giving a damn about football? Partly.
I have no idea. But it's that order. It's Pittman, Venables, Florida. All right, let's close this podcast out with this because I'm excited about the NFL. I know you don't particularly care about NFL more than you do college, but I still love NFL. I'm going to go through a couple players. Did you watch any preseason? I know you're at the Smokies game last night and didn't get a chance to watch a lot of preseason football.
I watched one drive.
Okay. You watched one drive of Cam Ward.
I know Milton looked amazing.
Yeah, I want to get into that. But we got about 10 minutes left. I want to go through this, and we'll close the podcast on this. Will they make it long term? I'm going to go through it. I'm just going to start off with Cam Ward. Do you think Cam Ward makes it long term?
Well, here's my thinking. Is he showing me stuff that he's going to be the next Mahomes? I mean, who the hell can know? But
I know it's preseason.
He's got a much better shot, just overall. I mean, I'm still just basing off of what I knew going into this season, and my thinking is he's got a much better shot than a lot of other guys do. So
yeah. So you're going to go with he's going to make it long term.
Is he going to be in the NFL 10 years from now? I'd say yes.
Yeah, me agreed. I just watching him out there. It looked like he's been a quarterback in the NFL for 5 years. It was weird. His body language, he just looked comfortable. He looked comfortable, and he looked really comfortable out there when he's throwing the passes. And Calvin Ridley got up after he floated it over the defender's hands, and Calvin Ridley caught it. And Calvin Ridley got up and slapped the ball and smiled like, "Oh my God, I finally have a quarterback." That's what his reaction looked like. Travis Hunter for the Jags. Did you watch any of that? No, you didn't, because you said you only watched a couple highlights. But Travis Hunter, do you think he's going to make it?
Yeah. I mean, this guy's one of the most talented guys in the world, so yeah.
Do you think he's going to make it on both sides of the ball, or is he going to have to pick one side?
Maybe for a season or two on both sides, but I'd say long term, they're probably going to want him to have one side of the ball. I mean, it's the NFL's way different than MLB.
Mm-hmm.
You are testing your body way more. I mean, this is the game where you just can't sustain that. That is insane.
Yeah,
maybe you can kick return.
I agree with that. Ashton Genty for the Raiders, Boise State running back. Is he going to make it long term? Or is he going to be out?
Just answer that yourself, because I didn't see anything. So.
Okay. I'm going to go. He's not going to make it long term. I think he's going to bounce around and he's going to end up in the UFL. That's just me. One, because he's at the Raiders and the Raiders are setting him up for failure because the Raiders are trash and they have a terrible offensive line. I think they're setting him up for failure, and I don't think he's going to make it long term. Abdul Carter for the New York Giants. the guy from Penn State. I don't know if you watched any of his highlights. He looked like a freaking monster for the Giants. He's going to be a long-term player coming out of Penn State for the New York Giants. Jackson Dart for the Giants as well. Did you see any highlights of him at all? Okay.
No one told me to watch this stuff.
Jackson Dart looked pretty damn good. He looked good in the first preseason game. I think he's going to have a long NFL career. I don't know if he's going to have an NFL career as a starter, but I think Jackson Dart is going to be pretty good. James Pierce Jr. Yeah, we'll get to that. James Pierce Jr. of the Atlanta Falcons. Our James Pierce Jr. he was getting double teamed midway through the game. First preseason game, he's getting double teamed.
But those off the field issues, man. You know, he never got arrested or nothing.
No.
He never had any written down controversy whatsoever. But apparently all his off the field issues. I mean, what the hell, man?
Shedeur Sanders had one good preseason game so far. Is he going to make it long term or not?
He's got a better shot than most fifth round QBs do. I'll give him that.
I don't think he's going to make it because he plays for Cleveland. And he might die.
Hey, a lot of quarterbacks make it in Cleveland, you know.
I'm going to go.
I don't know their names because they haven't existed, but.
Well, it's all in a name, and the name is Sanders. So I think he's going to be there long term because there's going to be 30,000 teams that give him a shot if everything goes wrong. And Joe Milton for the Cowboys. Will Joe Milton be in the league long term?
Oh, I love Joe. Joe's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing you're saying about someone that's not a great thing. But for the sake of all the Dallas fans, Leland included, I pray he has a long career of going in backup situations and just lighting it up.
Joe Milton is going to be the next Jameis Winston, where he's going to be a backup for a long time because he's got the arm talent. And he is going to throw a lot of interceptions, but make a lot of amazing plays. And that's what's going to keep him in the NFL for a long time because he's going to make plays that just make your jaw drop, and then he's going to make boneheaded mistakes like Jameis Winston. And speaking of Jameis Winston, watching the game yesterday, I love Jameis Winston. He's one of the most entertaining. He's like a Ryan Fitzpatrick type quarterback. He goes out there and just slings it. Jameis Winston comes out there yesterday.
I love that you just compared Jameis Winston to one of the smartest QBs in history of football.
Who?
Fitzpatrick literally
just because he went to Stanford doesn't mean he's football smart.
He went to Harvard and he had the highest of the Wonderlic score in the history of football.
Oh yeah, we've all seen how Wonderlic scores work out. That's irrelevant to football. But Jameis Winston throws a pick. It's like the most god awful throw I've ever seen. Throws a pick. He throws a pick to a rookie. Rookie intercepts it. The other team was offside, so he gets another chance and leads them all down the field for a touchdown. It's the stupidest shit. It's the stupidest thing. It's hilarious, though. That's why I love watching them. But
Jameis, one of my favorites.
Oh, God.
Forever will be. There's no one like him. I'm so ready for football to come back.
Yes, we all are.
It's been too freaking long. It's so weird because we didn't have that long off season. We don't have long off seasons anymore because we have baseball that we care about. Yeah. But it just feels like it's so dead right now. And it even though it's been one of the most talked about off seasons ever. I mean, the whole Boot Carter situation, Nico. We've had a lot of distractions, but nothing on the field. But man, I'm just ready for it. I'm just ready. I know you say you feel like you know what's going to happen with this team, but I kind of think a lot of people will be surprised, including myself sometimes.
Well, it's going to be surprising either one way or the other. So,
yeah,
that's the deal. So, but anyway, man, that was a podcast, kind of like a little preview. We'll do it again next week. I don't know what will happen between in there, but
hopefully nothing. Hopefully nothing happens.
Yeah.
Besides maybe a few commitments from highly touted dudes.
Yeah. Football needs to get here because shows like this are not fun unless we have a lot of topics. So topics need to come. Shows will get more fun. It'll be a lot more fun to do them. But anyway, it's a fun show, man. We'll do it again.
Yeah. I was gonna say, and you gotta come to us because ball calls are gone.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll do it again. We'll see you later. Thanks for all the comments, guys. Sorry we didn't get to them. But peace out. Go Balls. God bless. We'll do it again soon. Bye-bye.